Greetings YouTubers and welcome to training the Race Room AI. This will be a follow-up to a forum post I did in both Race Department and Sector 3 forums, trying to describe what it is I'm actually doing. Excuse me. So to go into a little more detail, first of all the AI adaptation file itself and how it's built up. And I would like to stress you do not need to know any of this. The game will happen. The game will do this automatically if you just let it. This is simply for those of you who want a little more detail into what's happening. Okay, so the XML file is divided into several parts. Let's just see if I can find what I already did. So this key, each key, it has a primary key and a sub key. Each track and can track combo. So key 2520, that's Brands Hatch. That's the code for Brands Hatch. And within that key, you have keys for the various car classes. 255, for example, is the Accolade. And if I scroll down a bit, we can see what I did earlier with the NSUs. There are my lap times, and this is the AI index. 113, 14, 15, 16, and so on, as I described in the forum post. So, if you want to follow along, the easiest way is simply to find the code for the track, and then do a search in the adaptation file for it. Now, if you don't know the code or can't find it, oh, by the way, most of the codes are listed in the spectator overlay JSON. You can find that over here at GitHub, Sector 3 Studios, etc., etc., etc. I'll post a link further down. But here you can see Brands Hatch, ID 2520, and if you have multiple layouts of a track, let's just scroll up. We have here Marker Raceway, each of them the sprint, 2423, the full 3383, and so on and so forth. So, unfortunately, this JSON hasn't been updated in 4 or 5 months, so a lot of the new stuff isn't there. If I, for example, went in and did a search for 4813, which is the NSUs, it won't find them. So if you can't find it, the code for it, what you do is make a copy of the adaptation file, and then just delete it. And then you start a race room. And by the way, this will be a one-take video, so there'll be a lot of loading and watching me doing laps and so on and so forth. I honestly couldn't be asked to try and edit it. So bear with me, and we'll get you up and running. So you set up a race with one AI for the combo that you want to find in the XML. Now, in my case, I'll be doing the Accolade at Brands Hatch, and the reason I'm using Brands Hatch once again is quite simply that it's the shortest track we have, and we need to do some laps in order to build up the AI database. And the shorter the laps, the quicker this video will be done. So, the principle is exactly the same for all of them. So all you actually need to find the code is just one lap time. the sound a bit so people can actually hear what I'm saying. So, as you can see, it has now generated a new adaptation file. All you have to do is go in and simply scroll down until you find the lap time. And I'm going to cheat a bit since I already know the code. And here you are, 2520, that's Brands Hatch, 255, that's the Achilles, and there's my lap time. So if you didn't know the code for the car, the track, do one lap, scroll down, find the lap time, and that's it. Now we don't actually want that, since I need to be building up my own. So just delete that. Rename the old one, and we're back in business. So now we know that we are looking at two keys, 2520 and 255. Now I'll simply be building up the AI for that particular combo. Now, as I mentioned in the forum post, you need to know what level you're at, and if you don't, you need to do some qualifying sessions to figure out which level would suit you. I'm probably around I don't know, 113, so we'll just go from there. So you don't have to sit through all those qualifying sessions with me. So if I want 113 as my level, that means I will do 2 laps at 111, 112, 113, 14, 15, and 60. We all do all of those. With one opponent, no qualifying session, and we'll start in first. And then you do 2 laps. That's it. And just to show you, again, 2520 for Brands Hatch, 255 for the A-Class, and now we have an index key for 111. Here's the interesting bit. Your lap times don't actually matter at this point. While you're building up the AI database, um, your lap times are completely useless. Doesn't matter in any way at all. All we need is a collection of AI indexes, closely closely grouped, so that the AI during the race has some variation in AI levels that it can use. But that's the first key. So we will do 2 more laps, this time at 112. And actually, since your lap times don't matter, might as well let them get a head start. And that's it. And we can check the database again. And we now have 2 keys, 111 and 112. One thing to note here is, if you only do 1 lap, it won't write an AI index. It'll only write your lap times. If you do 3 laps, it'll start to look at the lap 2 and start to adjust. We don't want that. Not while we're training it. Okay, you want it to adapt afterwards. And once you've got the 6 indexes built up, so it has something to choose between, then we want it to adapt, but not while we're training it. Okay, so it's 2 laps and 2 laps only. And I'm just going to do the next 4 sessions just in one stretch without showing you what happens. Just to save a little time. So 113. And again, one thing to note: you can't just let the AI run 2 laps. You have to complete 2 laps yourself, otherwise it won't count. The idea here is that it does comparisons between its own laps and your laps, so it needs both in order to work. put some music in at some point just to entertain you guys. Last one. That's it. Let's take a look at the adaptation file. And there you have it. We now have for 20 by 20, which is brand hatch, subkey 255, which is the A class. We now have 111, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now, the way it works is, no, hang on, the way I think it works. I don't have any background knowledge, it's just what I've been observing. Is during the race, first of all, the AI only writes these index keys after each race. It doesn't write any of them during the race. I mean, it would be nice if it did, but it doesn't. So deal with it. So during the race, it has this index of 6 different AI levels. I would assume it starts the race somewhere in the middle, at 114 or 113. If you say, so let's say it starts at 114. After the first lap, it compares your lap times to its own lap times. If you start falling behind, okay, then the next lap it'll go down to 113. If you're still falling behind after that lap, it goes down to 112. Now, if you start to catch up, it starts moving up. So what you need is a fairly tightly grouped index collection. So you have some variation in the lap times, small variations. The problem with doing this the old-fashioned way, the standard way, is you have nothing in the file to begin with. So it'll start at 80. After the first race, it'll then write a new key that is 90. After that race, it'll write another key which is maybe 100. So after 6 races, you do get 6 keys like you do in this one. However, they are widely spread. They run my own in my own testing. They ran from 90 AI at the lowest and 120 at the highest. So I've got a spread of 30 levels of AI trying to race against. So it was incredibly fast on one lap, and then it slowed right down on the next lap, and then back up again and back down, and so on and so forth. Now, eventually, it would have reached the same as this. What it would simply have taken far too many races for me to deal with. So I figured this one out. But let's see what we can actually do with this. Let's just do a short 8-minute race against, I don't know, 10? Yeah, sounds right. This time we'll put qualifying in and see how I actually do. And of course, remember to switch it to adaptive. Now, if you have set your level too high or too low, it will eventually adapt to you. The thing to remember here is that the better your initial level assessment of yourself is, the quicker you can reach these tight groupings right around your own level, and the faster you'll get fun racing. Don't worry, it'll improve. Now the thing to remember here is during qualifying, and again this is educated guesswork, I don't know for sure, but I would assume that it again starts in the middle and then it tries to adapt to your lap times, which means that first of all you need to get your own lap times out quickly so it has something to adapt to. You also need to let it run at least 2 laps, so it has the first lap it doesn't have anything to adapt to. You can only start adapting on the second lap, and I would say that preferably if you've got time, let it run 3 laps, so it has time to go through the various indexes. So we'll just let it go through a couple of laps here. Yeah, that sounds good. That's about right. Normally during qualifying, you should be qualifying around 3rd or 4th. The AI will try to adapt, so you always have a couple of cars in front of you in order so you have someone to chase. I might have set my starting level a little too low, but we'll see. Hey, my track buddy, get away. But as you can see, it's certainly racing me. Ah, get out of the way, buddy. Crap. And again, this is one of the problems with AI in its current session. the collisions are a bit nerfed, to be honest. But you know, it is what it is. I can't. I don't have a way to improve the AI as such. I can only get it up to your level as quickly as possible. That's the only I can offer. Another thing you will note as you start to go through the tracks, there are some corners that it doesn't do very well. In this case, at Brands Hatch, the hairpin in turn 2, it slows down far too much. It has problems at Spa with the Eau Rouge and oh, what's the other one? Can't remember. There's a couple of corners at Spa. It doesn't do very well. So we do need at some point some improvements to the AI, all of which is neither here nor there. And when we're talking about adaptive AI, all I'm trying to show you is that you can get it to be competitive rather fairly quickly. The other limitations we'll simply have to live with for the time being. Come on, move, buddy. Well, the accident aside, that wasn't too shabby. One thing we can do is just to check if the AI adaptation has changed anything. If it Let's see, 113, 14, 15, and 16. Nope, so I hit it pretty well on the head. If there has been large variations in my lap times compared to the AIs, one of these keys would have been deleted. And actually what you can see is down here, under each lap time for each AI level, you can see how many times it used that particular AI level. So 1, 1, 1, 1 for all of them, and then I had 2 laps with the 111. The way it works, again, the way I think it works, is that after each race, it looks at all these keys and sees how many times each level got used, and if it needs to change something, if something was way out of whack, it'll simply delete the key that got used the least. But again, all this with the index file, all this technical bit, you don't actually need it. This is only if you're curious as to what goes on behind the scenes. But if all you want is adaptive AI, you can simply do the 12 races and you're golden. All this will be taken care of automatically by the AI. So just to recap, find your level. If you're unsure of your level, simply do qualifying with the 8 AI without entering. Do not enter the track. Just look at the lap times and compare them to your own best. You need to qualify. You need to have times that would qualify you in third or fourth, somewhere thereabouts. That's your initial AI level. Then you need to do two laps and only 2 laps, never 3. Uh, at your level, -1 and -2, and at your level +1, +2, and +3. So that's 6 sessions at 2 laps each. And after that, you can switch over to the adaptive AI, and it'll adapt to you from there. So that's the basis of it. That's the whole story. And now I really don't want to talk about adaptive AI for a fair bit. Hope you enjoyed. See ya.